Coming up in NBN News, a police operation near Murwillumbah, paramedics treating one person for a gunshot wound, another hit by a car. Bruce Lurman's massive court loss as he fails to overturn a defamation ruling. Police Minister Yasmin Catley's driver charged with high-range drink driving. The Communications Minister defends a $100,000 taxpayer-funded trip to New York. And in sport, the Matildas complete a clean sweep against New Zealand. The details next. Tonight, one man dead and two injured after a shooting near Murwillumbah. Our reporter has the latest. Damning and dramatic statements at court as Bruce Lurman loses his high-stakes appeal. Extraordinary new details emerge about the fire at Lake Macquarie Council as a man pleads guilty. The New South Wales Police Minister's driver accused of drink driving. And changes to Australia's batting lineup confirmed as Pat Cummins' bid for an Ashes return gets stronger.
This is NBN News with Natasha Beyersdorf.
Good evening. A major police operation is underway west of Murwillumbah tonight with a man dead and two others injured following a shooting at Ewangella. Reporter Monica Adair is there for us and joins us now. Monica, what's the latest?
Tash, emergency services were called here to Tyalgum Road at Ewangella at about 1:30 p.m. following reports of a shooting. Police were told two men aged 41 and 38 were allegedly shot by another man who ran from the scene with a fourth person. Tyalgum Road remains closed this afternoon as police continue their investigations. Tash?
Thanks, Monica. Disgraced former political staffer Bruce Lurman was nowhere to be seen today as the federal court doubled down on a ruling that he raped Brittany Higgins. Two failed defamation cases have left him millions of dollars in debt, but Lurman is now considering trying to clear his name in the High Court.
No Bruce Lurman, just a lone lawyer to receive the news of a second crushing defamation defeat. Tiffany Genders, NBN News.
New details have emerged about a huge fire which tore through Lake Macquarie Council's admin building a year ago. Today, one man admitted to his role, two others remain at large.
It was a blaze which caused $30 million in damage and disrupted hundreds of workers. A fire at Lake Macquarie Council now revealed to be an orchestrated crime involving Tony Graham. Tyson Cottrell, NBN News.
Another Optus outage has occurred with customers in Queensland unable to contact 000. It's believed those with a landline have been affected, with the telco saying the issue is affecting Brisbane and the state's southeast. Three residents have watched on as firefighters work to extinguish a blaze that destroyed their Ballina home. Initial investigations suggest lithium-ion batteries are to blame, with multiple of them found on the scene.
In a matter of moments, three Ballina residents lost everything.
Within 30 seconds, it went from nothing to fire extension in the roof.
Maya Roon, NBN News.
A man has today faced court charged over a stabbing in Cambalum yesterday afternoon. Police were told two men known to each other were arguing before a 34-year-old man was allegedly stabbed. He remains in Gold Coast University Hospital in a critical condition. Two officers also sustained injuries during the arrest of a 33-year-old man. Trevor Roberts has been charged with offences including wound with intent to cause grievous bodily harm and remains in custody. His case will be heard again next year. A new homeless hub has opened in Lismore today to provide much-needed crisis accommodation in the Northern Rivers. The facility is aimed at linking up residents with longer-term housing as well.
A disused aged care facility turned into accommodation for individuals and families experiencing housing insecurity. Maya Roon, NBN News.
The Lismore Recycling and Recovery Centre has officially reopened after a $15.6 million rebuild following the 2022 floods. It saves council around $2 million a year after it was trucking waste to Queensland.
This is another step forward in our flood recovery. It's another major project that's been delivered.
Byron Bay is welcoming its first new apartment block in a decade. Eid, located on the tightly held main beachfront, is a collection of 25 luxury units. Most of the apartments have their own pool and access to five-star facilities. The starting price, $4.75 million. The redevelopment of the Port Macquarie Koala Hospital is well underway. Construction on the $10.7 million project has reached the halfway stage, with the new facility expected to open mid-next year.
It's played a critical role in saving and nurturing the region's koala population for more than 50 years. Now the Port Macquarie Koala Hospital is receiving a much-needed upgrade. Robert Nardella, NBN News.
Let's take a quick look at the weather across the region today, and the top temperatures about the mid-20s, 25 at Yamba. Coolangatta got up to 27 and 25 on the Gold Coast. You're watching NBN News. Still ahead, an Australian man learns he'll avoid the death penalty after allegedly being caught with drugs in Bali. The Communications Minister under scrutiny days out from the social media ban, and the search about to resume for MH370. The death toll from devastating floods and landslides in Southeast Asia has now reached 1,300, with rescuers still searching for hundreds of missing people. Large parts of Indonesia, Sri Lanka and Thailand were lashed by a series of cyclones and other storm systems last week. It's been revealed taxpayers coughed up nearly $100,000 for flights so the Communications Minister and her staff could spruik Australia's world-first social media ban in New York. The controversy coming as Annika Wells makes her final pitch before the new rules kick in.
1 week until Digital D-Day.
With one law, we can protect Generation Alpha from being sucked into purgatory.
Emily Saunders, NBN News.
Coming up next, a man shot and killed, the alleged gunman found hiding underwater on the Gold Coast. The royal family now facing an inquiry into several of its properties. And a chilly rescue for a truck driver left hanging. A 35-year-old man has been shot dead in a suburban park at Beenleigh, south of Brisbane, in front of terrified campers. Tonight, we can show you the hunt for the suspect and the unexpected place officers eventually found him.
On a Hope Island street, police approach who they suspect is an armed offender in a stolen car.
You're in the car, show us your hands!
Disturbing details have emerged about the past of Victorian high country killer Greg Lynn after a court suppression order was lifted. The family of Lynn's first wife, Lisa, who died suddenly in 1999 from a combination of alcohol and sleeping pills, says she was living in fear the months before. Luxury fashion house Prada has swallowed up its smaller Italian-founded rival in a multi-billion-dollar deal. Money editor Effie Zahos has the details.
The devil now wears Versace too. Prada, the luxury fashion house known for its minimalist edge, has snapped up Versace for $2.2 billion Australian dollars, adding full-throttle glamour to its portfolio. Prada's worth roughly as much as Aussie gas company Santos. Now it's betting on Versace's hotshot new designer to turn back the brand to quiet luxury. A Prada share, a complete bargain compared to this $6,600 handbag. To shares, and the market finished about flat today, seemingly confused about whether the GDP results were good or bad news. And the Australian dollar has been quietly climbing against the greenback for a week as traders realise that our interest rates are probably staying higher for longer.
Time for sport now with Montanna, Clare and Tan. Changes to the Australian cricket team have now been confirmed.
Good evening, Tash. Yes, Josh Inglis has been added to the side for the second Ashes test following Usman Khawaja's injury. The big question is, will Pat Cummins play? We have the latest next. Plus, Sam Kerr plays a part as the Matildas clean sweep their Trans-Tasman series, and why former Storm star Ryan Pappenhausen's professional sporting career could be over. There's a growing feeling Pat Cummins will lead Australia when the second Ashes test gets underway tomorrow afternoon. While he wasn't initially named in the squad, there are now indications the skipper will play at the Gabba.
Steve Smith arriving for his pre-match captain's press conference. Whether he keeps the role tomorrow is unclear. Sam Jordan, NBN News.
At a gap year, it appears Ryan Pappenhausen's professional sporting career could be over for good. The former Storm fullback has given the strongest indication yet he won't be returning to rugby league or switching codes.
The first big name to walk away from the NRL in the off-season as the threat of R360 loomed.
And coming up next, Rory McIlroy causes a stir ahead of the Australian Open.
This program brought to you by Sings Tyre and Mechanical.
There's no easier way to rile Victorians than to throw shade on their sporting facilities, and Rory McIlroy did just that today. The world number 2 saying Royal Melbourne isn't the best golf course in Victoria as he completed his preparation for the Australian Open.
Rory McIlroy has teed off.
The Swans have wrapped up their community camp in Newcastle today with an open training session. The Hunters' Isaac Heaney is already looking to a return visit. He wants his AFL club to bring a game back to his hometown. Fans turned out in Newcastle for the final stop of the Swans Hunter Tour. The Interschools Wheelchair Basketball and Goalball tournament has returned to Grafton. Students from local high schools locked in for an inclusive sports showdown to mark International Day of People with Disability.
With a silver medal in wheelchair tennis, today former Paralympian David Johnson was king of a different court. Alison Paul, NBN News.
Tash, that's sport.
Thank you, Tan. The weather's next. Calmer conditions have settled in across the region, with winds easing off and temperatures starting to climb again. Most of the country is cloud-free at the moment due to a dominating high pressure and high winds. We can see a patchy band of cloud in the west and some over the top end producing rain there. Tomorrow, a broad ridge will direct a cool and dry southwesterly airstream over New South Wales, bringing stable conditions again. A low-pressure trough will funnel hot winds over the interior through to Victoria ahead of a cooler southerly change. Looking at how it was today, we got up to 25 degrees at Yamba, 26 the day's top at Ballina. Casino, 29 was the maximum, Coolangatta at 27, and on the Gold Coast, 18 to 25 degrees. The forecast for tomorrow, it's looking mostly sunny again. It'll be warmer too. At Evans Head, 28 degrees. A little bit of cloud cover perhaps on the coast at Ballina and Byron, and 27s and 25s there. But Wollumbar, 14 to 28 degrees. On the Gold Coast tomorrow, we can expect a top of 27. Checking the situation for the Gold Coast coastal waters, seas a metre on a 1 metre swell. They'll be a little larger on the Byron coast with winds from the northeast up to 20 knots. The sun's up tomorrow on the Byron coast at 5:41 and setting at around 7:30. On the Gold Coast, we've got a high tide at 7:18 a.m, the low coming in just before 2 p.m. Looking further ahead now, fine, sunny and warm through to the weekend on the Tweed before the next change arrives. Now that will bring some rain, up to 10 millimetres forecast for Ballina on Sunday and some more on Monday. It'll be warming up at Lismore before that, getting into the low 30s for Saturday and Sunday. And the heat really building at Grafton ahead of the change towards the end of the weekend. And that is NBN News for this Wednesday. Good night.